deserve, for I walk in this world. Good morning. Again, I hope today is off to a good start for you, and I hope that today is going to bring about some good things in your life. Certainly, I'm going to make a suggestion today of something that you might be focused on that I know will make a difference in your life, and it may very well make a powerful impact in the lives of others. The subject today is brotherly kindness. This is in that list of things that we've been looking at that's listed in 2 Peter chapter 1, those milestones, if you will, on this path to Christian maturity. We've been talking about several things along the way, and we reached this point, second to the last, by the way, in this pathway to maturity. And we're talking today about brotherly kindness. A young man was on a campus of a big university, and he was on his way to a meeting in one of their big stately buildings. And as he approached the front door of that building, so also was a woman approaching the door, and her arms were full of books. And without even thinking, this young man opened the door for her and allowed her to go through. But rather than receiving that as an act of kindness, she was indignant. "How dare you? You don't have to hold the door open for me," she said. "I can open it for myself. I'm not helpless." Well, he extended that kindness because of the way he replied to her. It wasn't hateful. It wasn't rejecting. He simply said to her, "I didn't do that because of who you are. I did that because of who I am." That is kindness. Always looking out for doing things for others, regardless of how deserving they are, regardless of their reaction to it. We know it is a kind act that we extend to others. And we are to be kind to others, not because of who they are, but because of who we are as disciples of Jesus. The brotherly part of this phrase, the brotherly kindness, reflects back on that kind of love that Jesus often encouraged among his disciples. We know that he taught about agape love, that is that highest form of love that comes from God to us and that we are to share among ourselves. But there is also this level of love that is known as phileo love, a brotherly love. That is simply, it is a view that all people are fellow human beings, and we all have our strengths and our weaknesses. And so we share this camaraderie, if you will, this love for all people, simply because we are all a creation of God. This is not a moment-by-moment decision that things we have to just wait till the moment and they pop up. It is more a decision that we make long-term, that we are always going to be looking out for kind acts that we can extend to others. It's a commitment in our own lives to treat all people with respect and to extend acts of kindness to them. Indeed, sometimes they are instantaneous, what we call random acts of kindness, just things that pop up on the moment, opening the door for someone else, doing some other small thing for people that just you haven't given thought beforehand. The opportunity arises at that second and you respond to that. But then sometimes there are these acts of kindness that require more planning, more extended commitment. But in all ways, we are to be people who are demonstrating brotherly kindness. Remember the parable of the Good Samaritan? That is truly maybe the best story about kindness. In this story, there is a victim of a robbery, a victim of abuse by someone who left this man for dead beside the road. And others were coming by and saw the situation, that this man was in dire straits, but they were either too busy or too proud, or maybe they were just afraid to stop and give help. But then there was this one man, a Samaritan, who in those circles was an outcast. A Samaritan probably had received his own at least verbal abuse from others because he was not accepted by so many people. And yet it was he who stopped and gave real aid to that man who had been left for dead. He tended to his wounds. He got him into a safe place. He even paid for more extended care for this man that he didn't even know. That is kindness. We're all confronted with opportunities to show kindness every day. But sometimes, like those people in that story, sometimes we just are too busy. Or sometimes we're just too focused on self to stop and to do this act that is purely for the benefit of somebody else. Or maybe we're too proud to do things that seem small and insignificant. We never know. Any act of kindness, no matter how small, can be actually life-transforming for someone else. Because whenever people receive an act of kindness, it makes them value themselves even more. It makes them value their situation. And so whatever we do in extending an act of kindness, it can have long-term ripple effects, if you will. The ultimate pattern for a life of kindness is, of course, Jesus. He spent his life caring for those who desperately needed kindness. Even on the cross, he prayed for the forgiveness for those who were his executioners. That has to be the ultimate act of kindness. We are honestly sometimes tempted to show kindness to people that we look up to or people of some high position because we somehow think it will benefit us. But in Matthew 25, Jesus really demonstrates what kindness is all about. He's teaching there about people who are in desperate need themselves, people who are unable to help themselves. Certainly if we saw Jesus, we would be kind to him because we would think in some way that would benefit us. But here is Jesus teaching that for these who are the most helpless, these who are most in need of some human kindness, we are to extend that kindness to them to the degree that Jesus said, as you do it unto one of the least of these, you do it unto me. Kindness. It's a lifestyle. It is a daily, moment-by-moment choice, but it is a lifelong commitment at the same time. I hope today you'll look for opportunities to extend kindness. Don't do it in order to gain something. Do it simply to show value in someone else's life. Let them know that they are valued, that someone cares about them, no matter how small it is. Extend an act of kindness. Look out for those opportunities. And when we do, the world is a better place. And the world's a better place because we're acting like Jesus. Go and have a great day. Bye.
They resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Words of life, words of hope.